umaga sa John B. TV. Panalo sa kwentuhan, maraming malalaman. John B. TV, John B. TV. Buong yung araw sa John B. TV.
Magandang Jensen!
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning sa ating lahat.
And welcome to John B. TV! Ayan, so yung partner, good day! Ang ganda-ganda mo ngayon, partner.
Ano ka ba, partner? Napakamaliit na bagay.
Wow!
You look so fresh today.
Ganyan, partner.
Kasi fresh mo
Wala mo dito.
Hindi, partner, kasi fresh mo yung mga bulaklak natin.
Yeah, so we have this very special location. We are in Greenleaf Hotel, Jensen. So we have this very fresh na mga flowers sa ating
Thank you,
background.
Greenleaf.
Yes, partner. So, for in today's episode, partner, we have this very special episode kasi medyo seryoso ang topic natin ngayon. Because we will be talking about these global issues.
Yes, partner, tama ka dyan. Kailangan natin pag-usapan yung mga ganitong bagay. Ngayon, lalo na ngayong pandemic, kailangan talaga natin pag-usapan, partner.
Yes, indeed. Kailangan mapag-usapan to kasi this is timely and relevant sa ating society and it should be addressed. So, we will be having these different people na ating mga guests. And welcome sa panibagong episode. So, we'll be having our virtual guests o different people who will talk about the societal issues, partner.
Yes, the global issues, partner. Kung saan, pag-uusapan natin ang tungkol sa climate change and pollution,
We have this violence and terrorism.
lack of education and unemployment,
And also, lastly, we will be talking about this government corruption and hunger and nourishment.
yes, ayun, partner, grabe, napaka-crucial yung usapin natin ngayong araw. So, wag na nating patatagalin pa.
Ayan. So, let's welcome our first guest, virtual guest that will talk about the lack of education and unemployment.
And let us welcome our City Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Katrina Bogino.
And the academic ambassadress, Miss Warren Smith. A round of applause.
So hello everyone!
So, ayan. Welcome po, Miss Dr. Katrina Mohino.
At Miss Warren Smith,
Ayan
magandang
po.
araw po.
Welcome po. Napakaganda niyo po sa screen as you can see.
Welcome po sa aming show na John B. TV.
So what are your thoughts po, Dr. Katrina Mohino, na about this wonderful interview?
So hello everyone! So I'm so blessed at masaya yung puso ko ngayon dahil isa ako sa mga naimbitahan ng John B. TV ngayong araw na ito upang maibahagi sa inyo kung ano nga ba ang lack of education.
How about naman po sa'yo, Miss Warren Smith?
Good morning, ma'am and sir. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so happy and grateful dahil isa ako sa naimbitahan nyo at ako'y nagagalak dahil doon. Thank you po.
Yes po, so we are very happy to have you as our guest. So we are very, very happy that we will going to talk about this global issues that is parang serious, partner.
Yes, partner. So, magtatanong na tayo. Huwag na tayong patumpik-tumpik pa. Boom, karaka-raka. Sige na, partner. So, Miss Katrina, Dr. Katrina, for you po, ano po ba yung lack of education?
Ito ay isang kawalan ng sapat ng kaalaman at isa rin itong itinuturing sanhi ng kahirapan dulot ng kakulangan sa edukasyon. Ang kakulangan sa edukasyon ay isang matinding pangailangan sa buhay dahil marami itong epekto tulad ng kawalan ng disiplina, korupsyon at sanhi ng kasakiman ng ating bansa.
For you, ma'am, so what can you say about the current situation or current status of the education in the Philippines?
Sa panahon ngayon, marami na mga kabataan hindi makapag-aral dahil nga ang pangunahing rason ay ang kahirapan. Dahil sa pagkakaroon ng korap ng ating gobyerno, maraming kabataan na hindi makapag-aral dahil nga ang kanilang mga magulang ay walang sapat na pera upang mapag-aral sila. Dulot na rin sa pandemic ay wala na yung mga parents na may mga stable work upang mapag-aral at mabigyan ng kinabukasan ng kanilang mga anak. Dahil ang pera na lang na meron sa kanila ay ang perang pang araw-araw na kakainin. At dulot na rin sa at isa rin tong rason ay ang impluwensya ng barkada at problema sa pamilya. Kaya ang mga kabataan nawala ng gana upang mag-aral dahil nga sa mga ganyang bagay. At based on the data gather, 4 million ang kabataan na hindi nakapag-aral na yun sa Pilipinas. Nakakalungkot lang isipin na ang mga bata na nakita mo sa paaralan ay makikita mo na lang sa lansangan. At yun ang isang malaking issue sa ating Pilipinas na yung araw. Sa ngayong generasyon na yun.
Oh, Miss Warren Smith, kasi nga pandemic ngayon, meron po ba kayong mga ways and solution, yung mga program kung paano po ba ninyo masusolusyonan yung lack of education dito sa Pilipinas at kung paano ba ang naging sistema ng edukasyon dito sa Pilipinas dahil sa pandemic?
Good morning ulit. Maraming mga solusyon upang masugpo ang lack of education here in the Philippines. And one of that, we should support the poor families. So, sa panahon ngayon, lahat tayo ay nahihirapan, lahat tayo ay naapektuhan, pero mas maraming pamilya, ang mahihirap na pamilya, ang nahihirapan. First solution is improve the quality of teachers. In order to improve the overall education levels, we need to make sure that the quality of teachers is sufficient. Number 2 solution is provide a better educational infrastructure. How can we give a quality education, a better education sa mga estudyante if ang surroundings nila is not good? Kaya napaka-importante na ang gobyerno is maglaan ng budget. Number 3 solution is raise more awareness in education. As a spokesperson and as ambassadress of education, Department of Education rather, it is my greatest job and honor na mag-raise ng awareness na itatak sa kanilang isip at puso ang kahalagahan ng pag-aaral. Kaya we keep on conducting seminars and campaigns sa different places ng Pilipinas about education upang i-change ang mindset ng bawat Pilipino sa kahalagahan ng edukasyon.
So I know that we've learned something from this interview. So we're very happy to have you as our guest, Dr. Katrina Mugino.
And of course, Miss Warren Smith, our education ambassadress. Thank you po ng marami, ma'am.
Yeah, so we're very happy to have you as our guest. Thank you, Dr. Katrina Mugino.
And our education ambassadress, Miss Warren Smith.
Magbabalik ang John B. TV.
Buong yung araw sa John B. TV.
So ayan guys, nagbabalik ang John B.
Yes,
TV.
we're back. Okay, ngayon partner, pag-uusapan naman natin yung isang issue pa, which is the unemployment.
Let us all welcome our Department of Labor representative.
Miss Mary Ann Bulan.
Yes, we will be talking about the unemployment.
Ma'am, how was your day?
What can you say that we are here? You are here at John B. TV. Ayan.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for inviting me here in John B. TV. So, I feel blessed kasi isa ako sa mga nandito ngayon sa inyong programa.
We're very happy to have you as our guest today, ma'am.
It's our pleasure po, ma'am. Ma'am, what can you say about unemployment?
So, all I can say about sa unemployment here in the Philippines is nangunguna talaga yung kahirapan dito. Kasi nga, kung pag-uusapan natin yung pandemya, maraming naitutulot nito sa atin eh. Number 1 na yung kawalan ng trabaho. Kasi nga maraming mga company or mga establishment yung nagsira. Kasi nga mabagal na yung kita natin dito kasi nga pandemic. Dahil dulot ng pandemya, ayon sa Philippine Statistics Authority, nasa 6.9%, which is equivalent na yun sa 3 million na mga Pilipino ang nawalan ng trabaho dito sa ating bansa.
What are the possible solution and action na maaari niyong i-implement dito sa bansa natin para malasan din yung unemployment sa ating bansa?
Ang Department of Labor and Employment naman ay gumagawa sila ng mga proyekto kung saan nakakatulong na rin ito sa mga nawalan ng trabaho. So, to lessen the unemployment dito sa ating bansa, meron silang programang tinatawag na livelihood kung saan nagbibigay sila ng mga hayop na pwede nilang alagaan at pagkakitaan. Pang maibsan ang unemployment dito sa ating bansa is kailangan natin iwasan yung katangian natin bilang Pilipino na ang pagiging tamad. Kasi yung katamaran kasi yung maghahadlang sa atin na maghanap ng trabaho. Pangalawa, kailangan nating pahalagahan ang ating edukasyon kasi napakalaking naidudulot nito sa atin at saka ang edukasyon din ang magbibigay sa atin ng kaalaman. So, kailangan natin siyang bigyang importansya.
Thank you, Ma'am Mary Ann.
Oh, another kaalaman na naman. Thank you, Mary.
We've learned something from this unemployment.
Yes, partner.
Mataas talaga ang unemployment rate sa ating bansa, especially at this very time of pandemic. So, our government is doing their best para mabigyan ng trabaho ang lahat ng mamamayan
Oo,
dito
kaya sa mga tao dyan, yung mga Pilipino, huwag tayong mawalan ng pag-asa kasi meron din naman ginagawa yung DOLE para sa atin.
Very happy to have you, Ma'am Mary Ann. So, thank you for sharing your ideas.
Yes, Ma'am. Ma'am Mary Ann, thank you po. Onging araw sa
Oh, yan! Nagbabalik na naman,
John B.
TV. Ayan, so let's
on sa panibago namang topic,
Yes,
partner.
global issues, another
Yes.
global issue. So medyo mataas-taas ang discussion natin
Oo,
ngayon.
partner, medyo yung brain ko nga, yung mga brain cells.
Yes,
ko
and I
parang-
am gaining a lot of learnings from
Oo,
this global
partner.
issues, partner. We will be talking more about this violence, partner.
Violence.
In today's episode, partner, kailangan talagang makalakay siya and we need to learn something.
From experts.
Yes, from experts. So,
Yeah.
our very special guest.
Oo, tatawagin na natin our registered psychologist, Dr.
Aubrey Magaliano. Ayan, hi po! Hi, Doc!
Hello sa inyo, Jonathan and Bambi. Thank you so much for inviting me. And I miss you both too.
Siyempre, na-miss natin si Doc.
So, we have this very serious issue, Doc, about this violence.
Yes, Doc. Pag sinabi ba nating violence, Doc, ano po ba yung ibig sabihin nun?
So ngayon, about sa question nyo, Bambi and Jonathan, kung ano nga ba ang violence. So, ang violence ay napaka-broad na topic dahil may iba't ibang types ng violence kasi. It could be physical, mental, psychological, or sexual abuse. So, when we say violence, violence is you're using force to someone, you intend to hurt someone. So that is what we call violence, even though that is a stranger or you're in a relationship and you intend to hurt that special someone of yours, that it could still result to violence.
So, we have these different violences, Doc. So, what can you say about those violence na nangyayari sa ating kapaligiran or nangyayari sa ating mga kababayan?
Yes, Jonathan and Bambi, thank you for that. So, may iba't ibang klase nga tayo ng violence. It could be emotionally, physically, and psychologically abuse. Pero ang mas nakakaapekto talaga nito ay ang ating psychological abuse dahil nga tapos na yung violence na naranasan niya, pero nakatatak pa rin ito sa kanyang isipan at ito ay tinatawag nating post-trauma. Kaya naman, as a psychiatrist, kinakailangan niya talagang kumusulta sa amin because it is our job to take care of your mental health.
Doc, what can you say about those people na nakaka-experience ng different kind of violence?
My advice for those children or kababayan natin na nakaranas ng violence is to speak up and fight for yourself. And also be an advocate. Be the voice of others who cannot speak up for their rights because they are afraid. And that's it. Thank you so much for that, John and Bambi. So what are the ways to avoid violence? to avoid violence is you need to have a good communication to other people, and you need to have a self-control, and also you need to know the law. Even if you are outside of the country, in order for you to be safe, you need to know their laws and respect their beliefs, and also be brave. Be brave to speak up for yourself, and that's it. Thank you so much, John and Bambi. Thank you so much for inviting me here.
Now we've learned something from this serious topic, which is the violence.
I would like to thank you, Doc, na binigyan nyo kami ng oras, and we would love to meet you soon.
At magbabalik ang
John B TV. Buong yung araw sa John B TV.
babalik ang John B TV. So yan, partner, so nandito na tayo ngayon sa ating pang-apat na topic ng
Yeah.
today's global issue. Special
Sana yung
episode.
brain mo dito, partner.
Yes, I am gaining a lot of knowledge. We'll be talking about this terrorism.
Oh, terorismo.
Terrorismo, partner. So alam naman nating laganap ito sa ating society. And it's still a conflict between people from our military,
Yes, partner.
our law enforcement agency, and especially sa mga terrorista.
Oh, kaya ngayong araw, meron tayong guest partner. Dalawa sila.
Yes.
Kailangan natin mapag-usapan ng tungkol dyan kung bakit kaganap maganon-ganon. So, wag na natin papatagalin pa. Let us all welcome our Sergeant Lieutenant Cliff Ford.
Senior Police Officer 3, Miss
Faith
Faith
Rabia.
Rabia. Hello, ma'am and sir. Welcome po sa John B TV. Ayan po, saludo po kami sa inyo. We're very happy to have you virtually as our guest and to talk about this terrorism.
Opo, kamusta naman kayo, Sir Cliff?
Hello, Ma'am Jonah and Ma'am Bambi. Okay lang po ako, lumalaban pa rin sa buhay.
Miss Faith, how are you po? Kumusta po kayo?
Ano po, Sir Jonah and Ma'am Bambi, malusog pa rin po and still doing our duties every day.
Miss Faith Rabia, can you tell to us what is terrorism?
Yes.
Ang terorismo ay isang kaguluhan na gumagamit ng karahasan para makapaghasik ng takot upang makamit ang isang partikular na layunin o adhikain. Ito ay pamiminsala sa mamamayan sa pamamagitan ng pamimilit, paninira o pagpatay. Ang ilan sa pamamaraan ng terorismo ay ang pagpapasabog ng gusali, kidnappings for ransom, at suicide bombing.
Sir Cliff, bakit po ba laganap yung terorismo dito sa ating bansa? Ano po yung mga dahilan?
Ang terorismo ay isa sa pangunahing suliranin ng ating bansa. Lumalaganap ang terorismo sa ating bansa dahil sa mababang sweldo at kakulangan ng magandang trabaho. Kaya napipilitan ng ibang tao na gumamit ng dahas upang magkapera ng malaki. Kahit alam naman nilang bawal ito at nakakasira sa nakakarami. Alam naman natin na ginagawa ng mga kapulisan ang lahat upang masugpo ang terorismo sa ating bansa. Lalo na ngayon na nasa ilalim tayo ng Duterte administration. Mas marami na ang sumusuko simula nang umupo si Tatay Digong sa konseho. At marami na rin ang sumuko dahil natatakot silang makipaglaban sa ating pulisya sa oras na sila ay hulihin. Kaya I salute Duterte and his armies who are always fighting for the right.
Ano po ba ang ginagawa ng ating kapulisan, ng ating kasundaluhan, at especially our government para mapigilan itong terorismo na nangyayari sa ating bansa?
Patas po tayo dyan, Ma'am Bambi and Sir Jonah. Yun po ay ang Republic Act number 11479 o Anti-Terrorism Act of 2020. Ginagawa naman po lahat ng ating gobyerno upang mapanatiling ligtas ang mamamayan. Sabi nga ng ating Pangulo ay kumikilos naman po ang gobyerno at kailangan din pong makipagtulungan ng mamamayan at makiisa na labanan ang terorismo. Huwag din po tayo mabahala dahil kaming mga kapulisan ay sinisiguradong ligtas ang lahat at laging handa sa anumang mangyari.
So ayan partner, thank you so much Mr. Clean Putan.
Salamat po sa mga oras
Yes,
niyo,
ma'am.
Ma'am Faith and Mr. Clint.
Yan po.
Gusto ko lang sabihin sa inyo na saludo talaga kami at
Saludo po
napakataas ng respeto
Respeto
namin
namin
sa
sa
inyo.
inyo.
Salamat po sa pag-imbita Sir Jonah and Ma'am Bambi. Masaya po akong may bahagi ang ganitong topiko. Sa lahat ng mga naman ng mga nanonood ay sana ay may nakuha kayong kaalaman at mag-ingat po tayong lahat.
Thank you so much. Bye. Magbabalik ang
John B. TV. Buong yung araw sa John B. TV. And welcome back again to our
John B. TV. So ayan guys, nandito na tayo ngayon sa ating panglima at pang-anim na topic in this global issue
Grabe na talaga yung
episode.
Pero partner, ano ba yung kasunod natin na ano?
Yes, we have
topic?
this environmental problems, partner. So, it is also a serious problem na nangyayari sa ating environment, which is, the topic is the climate change and
Pollution.
Ayan nga, serious topic na to. So, we have this very serious talk about those different, with these different people that are conserving our and protecting our environment.
Let us talk about environment that will lead us with our virtual guest.
Ayan.
Oo.
Sa ating mga virtual guests, let us all welcome our environmentalist, Annie Rose Angres,
Ramsey Batupalani
and Ivy Grace
Ivy
Tumbaga.
Tumbaga. Hello po.
Hello po, welcome po sa talk. Welcome po sa John B. TV. So it is very important to talk about this environmental conservation. So for you po, Miss Ivy Grace Tumbaga, what can you say about climate change?
Nowadays, climate change is the biggest problem of the human being. Climate that concerns of different calamities, and it is already happening and represents one of the greatest environmental, social, and economic threats facing the planet. And it is important that we understand how the climate is changing so that we can prepare for the future.
For you naman po, Miss Annie, ano po ba yung pollution?
Good day. By the way, I am Hannah Rose Angres, and now we're talking a very important about pollution and climate change. Usually, pollution is described as affecting the land, the water, and the air. So look at this picture. It is safe in our environment. It is clean. So pollution refers to harmful substances that contaminate the environment.
Sir Ramses, what can you say about this current issue, this climate change and pollution to the Philippines?
Based on the study, climate change clearly possesses a threat to human survival. It also projects the occurrence of frequent and stronger typhoons, and of prolonged intense heat in summers and heavy rains and flooding during rainy seasons. It also tells of the dire consequences of these natural catastrophes to human habitation, food supply and degradation of ecosystem service, and eventual extinction of some species. Agriculture, for instance, which relies on a stable regular weather pattern, will be adversely affected if such pattern is disrupted by climate change.
So ayan, so Miss Honey Rose, what are the causes of this climate change and pollution?
Oo, bakit ba laganap pa rin ito hanggang ngayon?
There are many causes of this, including chemical pollution into bodies of water and soil through improper disposal practices and agricultural activities, and also noise and light pollution created by cities and urbanization as a result of population growth. And also, human activity is the main cause of climate change. People burn fossil fuels and convert the land from forest to agriculture. Burning fossil fuels produces a carbon dioxide greenhouse gas. It because it produces a greenhouse gas effect. Environment pollution and climate change is not new phenomenon because it remains the world's greatest problem facing humanity.
Miss Ivy, what are the actions or ways na ini-implement nyo to manage or to prevent the pollution and climate change in our society or our country?
So the actions and ways to reduce the pollution and climate change in the Philippines, we have to promoting energy efficiency, improving transport system, shifting to cleaner fuels and fuels, improving solid waste management and wastewater treatment, ensuring forest protection, restoration and rehabilitation, and adopting climate resilient agriculture practice. So, to reduce pollution, plant more trees and nurture the ones present. Minimize pollution from cars by using electric vehicles, carpooling, keeping car service, and using environment-friendly vehicles like bicycle to cover short distance.
So ayan, thank you so much. So I know it is very important for us partner to really take care of our environment. Because as we face these different problems, environmental problems, so it is very important for us humans to talagang to take care of our environment.
Kasi naniniwala ako, partner, na ang kalikasan ay talagang nakakonekta sa mga tao. Pag tayong mga tao, pag inabuso natin yung yaman, mauubos talaga yan,
Yes,
partner.
and it does affect us people. So, thank you so much for those learnings and information, ma'am, about environmental conservation, and we are talk about the climate
Change and pollution.
So, we're very thankful to have you as our guest, our
It's
virtual
pleasure
guest.
po.
Thank you so much.
See you soon po, mom and sir.
Thank you so much.
Take care po.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello Philippines and hello world. I'm Jay Marlaran Music, and for today, we talk about government corruption, malnourishment, and hunger, of what are the causes and solutions of these problems. And for the government corruptions, we have Mr. Franz Agi.
Corruption is a significant obstacle to good governance in the Philippines. A review of a recent literature suggests that all levels of corruption, from petty bribery to grand corruption, patronage, and state capture exist in the Philippines at a considerable scale and scope. Significant efforts to have been made to combat corruption, which include putting in place legal and institutional frameworks, as well as efforts by civil society organization and the media. Donor agencies are also actively involved in the building capacity to curb corruption in the Philippines. The success of these initiatives, however, as far guaranteed, and many observers believe that structural obstacles such as cronyism continue to undermine anti-corruption efforts. The Philippines is at moderate risk for corruption in defense and security institutions. According to a report released by London-based Transparency International, the country scored 55 out of 100 in TI Defense and Security Government Defense Integrity Index, which assesses the quality of institutional controls to manage the risk of corruption in defense and security institutions. Institutional reliance to corruption is a modus across the Philippines defense institution. Read the report, which included a detailed assessment of the integrity of national defense institution of 84 countries. Oversight of policy making and procurement parliaments is particularly weak, and transparency remains limited throughout the sector, including with regard to financial management. Nonetheless, the corruption risk mitigation is relatively robust in military operation, it added. The overall assessment is derived from score in 77 areas, divided into 5 key corruption risks, which are the political, financial, personal, operational, and procurement. This relentless drive to have a clean, strong, and responsive government will continue under the remainder of the president's term. Acting presidential spokesperson Carlo Nograles said, noting that the president rating is similar to those of more than 20 countries, including Australia, Japan, South Korea, and Singapore. While there are areas mentioned by the Transparency International that need improvement, such as policy making and financial management, which the defense and security sector will review and consider to better their mechanism. The civil society organization acknowledged that corruption risk mitigation in the Philippines is relatively robust in military operations. We credit this to the President Rodrigo Roa Duterte's zero tolerance against the allegation of the official malfeasance. The palace official added. Negrales cited Duterte's decision to relieve numerous high-ranking military officials over alleged corruption activities at the military hospital in 2018. He added that the president dismissed 261 government officials and employees and suspended 187 others during his weekly public addresses from November 2020 to June 2021. This is Fran Sagi reporting. Back to you, J. Moore.
Thank you, Mr. Franz Ali. And for our malnourishment and hunger, we have Miss Angelica Zausa.
Malnutrition in all its forms includes undernutrition, wasting, stunting, and underweight, inadequate vitamins or minerals, overweight, obesity, and resulting diet-related non-communicable diseases. 1.9 billion adults are overweight or obese, while 462 million are underweight. Globally in 2020, 149 million children under 5 were estimated to be stunted, too short for age, and 45 million were estimated to be wasted, too thin for height, and 38.9 million are overweight or obese. Around 45% of deaths among children under 5 years of age are linked to undernutrition. This mostly occurs in low and middle income countries. At the same time, in these same countries, rates of childhood overweight and obesity are rising. The developmental, economic, social, and medical impacts of the global burden of malnutrition are serious and lasting for individuals and their families, for communities, and for countries. Angelica A. Zausa, Flash Report. Back to you, Jaymar.
Thank you, Miss Angelica Zausa. And that's all for our Flash Report. Have a nice day. Thank you.
So ayan partner, we are done with this very special episode that we talk about
Global issues.
So I know partner that you've learned something from these different topics with these global issues. So anong feeling mo ngayon partner that we've tackled all those 8 global issues?
Parang, syempre partner, marami akong natutunan ngayon, lalo na bilang isang mamamayan ng Pilipinas. So, as a simple netizens, so we need to have a courage na maglingkod sa ating bansa in a simple ways. Like for example, to follow the rules and regulations, magtapon ng basura sa tamang basurahan. Parang ganun kasimple partner, pero napakalaking tulong para sa ating bansa.
So, and hindi naman natin maiiwasan that we face this global issues even before up to the present. So, it is our duties and responsibilities to take actions and just to keep moving forward beyond these global issues that we face. And I know those watching us, I know that you've learned something from those different people that we've interviewed. Ayan, partner. So, ano masasabi mo sa ating mga viewers, mga audience?
Okay, mga hi po. So, wag lang natin yung basta watching. Dapat we need to learn din something and we need to do some actions.
Yes, we need to apply those learnings na natutunan natin from those different people. This is the John B TV. See you again next week. Bye-bye!
John B TV, kampante sa umaga. Sa John